I should set my Discord to quiet. All right. We're going to learn TypeScript today. So I have this job that I think I'll be doing. And I think most of my work is going to be in TypeScript. And I don't know TypeScript, so you can see kind of the problem, right? Um, there, okay. All right, I'm live. It looks like it's working. I don't know where chat is. It's kind of fucked up here. Let's refresh this. Oh, there we go. All right. So I'm sick. Um, I got food well, so like I haven't streamed in a while because like I had to learn AI, whatever that means, like machine learning, neural nets, deep learning sort of stuff. Um, for a talk I was going to give, well, for a talk I gave, and that was in Amsterdam. Um, so that was fun. I like crammed all of that, and I streamed that on PeerTube. That was fun. But it was exhausting because I was doing like 6 to 10 hours a day, just like trying to learn. Maybe 6 hours. I would 10's a lot, but like a solid 6 to 10 hours. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some days were 10. Just like learning, you know. And it was right up to the line. Like that morning of the talk, I was still writing notes on what the talk should be and all of that. It was a live coding session. It went really well, so I'm really happy about all that. Hey, Findus. I am not well. I am sick. I am still sick. So I did that, right? So I was like super weak after that. And but then after that what I have to do, I had to do something. I think I had some interviews to do, but I ate like oh yeah, so my girlfriend was going to go skiing. And I was like, "Oh, I should go, but you know, I had FOMO, but I was like I really need to rest because oh, I should put the chat up. Is it working? Yeah, the chat's working, right? Yeah. So like I was like I should rest. So she went, I didn't go, and I was like I'm going to rest. I'm going to be like self-care. I know how to take care of myself, and guess what? Like I get food poisoning. I got so sick. I haven't had food poisoning in a long time, and it was just wretched. Wretched. No pun intended because I was retching. It was terrible. And then like after I got after the food poisoning was like it only took like 2 days to mostly get over it. But then I got a cold, I think because I was like pushing myself. I had like some meetings I was supposed to go to and I felt like the people I was like saying no to all the time. So it was like the fourth time I was saying no. I was like I just got to show up. So I went and I just got a cold and now I have a cold. I don't sleep well. I'm just like a mess. So sorry about that. Sorry, I'm just like complaining about garbage, you know. All right. So is this thing working? Yes. All right. So I'm sorry about the low energy. I put myself from the conversation because I had to do some job interviews. I put myself at like 15 to 25% less cognitive capable cognitively as usual. So I'm like, what did you say? Can you say that again? Yeah, it's not great. It's not great to interview when you're sick, you know? Yeah, yeah, exactly. That was terrible. So, but still, I want to get going again. I want to like, I want to start learning stuff again and doing my usual stuff. So let's learn TypeScript. So the story here is just like I got called upon to do a talk on AI, there's this job that looks like they want like I haven't been working, right? I've been doing my own stuff and having fun, but now I need to get some work done. So uh there's this gig where I would be helping them, but they mostly use TypeScript. Um on the front end, and also I think they use React, and like I don't use either. So, I'm like Elixir girl or like functional programming. This is like I'm okay. Like I like Rust. But Rust is a funny language because even though it's imperative, like it has so many functional aspects to it. Everything can be immutable. It's so careful that way. So I like Rust too, but like TypeScript, we'll see what it's about. So I'm doing the normie languages now. This is my normie arc. We're gonna learn TypeScript. Who knows what's next? Python. Jesus Christ. So that's where we are. So what I thought I would do. Do you guys have any suggestions on like? Oh, I missed you too. I missed you all. I really wanted to stream. Um, Thank you. I wanted to. Do you guys know of any good TypeScript reference? I was thinking of just going to their website and using that, right? So let's see. Let's bring up Chrome. I really have to switch from Chrome. So where are we? Let's bring this up. Okay, here's Wes term. We don't need that yet. Let us bring up Chrome though. And we're gonna look for TypeScript. I guess this is TypeScript. Something like this. All right. TypeScript is JavaScript with syntax for types. Great. I don't think I'll get this job for like 2 weeks, so I have plenty of time to learn this stuff. Get started. No, let's just learn it. There's a handbook here. Tutorials, module references. Ooh, theory. That sounds fun. All right. Let's, I guess, start with this. How have you guys been? What have you been up to? I think we can make this wider. I don't know how we're going to be coding this stuff. I hope we don't have to like do DOM stuff right away because like I'd rather just learn the language first, you know what I mean? I don't want to I don't want to have to deal with browser stuff right away. All right. I'm sure everyone who's watching or will be watching already knows TypeScript more than me. I do know like JavaScript, but I never use it. So like to me it's kind of like Python. It looks like, a straightforward language. Okay, about this handbook, over 20 years after its introduction, you may begin learning Italian. I just know prego, grazie, grazie, molto bene. Um, yeah, I do love Italian food though. I'm in France, so Italy's not too far. It's my favorite place to go to. It's just so fun. And coffee is so good there. All right, so this is like a little bit of context here. We don't really, I just want to learn the language. Okay, so we have the handbook is intended to be a comprehensive document that explains TypeScript to everyday programmers. I'm an everyday programmer. Okay, top to bottom in the left-hand navigation. All right, that's great. Um, you should expect each chapter or page to provide you with a strong understanding of the given concepts. The TypeScript handbook is not a complete language spec, but is intended to be a comprehensive guide to all the language's features and behaviors. Hey there, Ryan. Why TypeScript? Only because I would never learn this language on my own. Just, TBH. Like, I have a job that I'm very likely to get, and it'll probably start in like a couple of weeks. And their whole code base is in TypeScript. I think they have some Rust in the back end, but I think just everything's TypeScript. So, if I'm going to have to understand their code, I should know the language, right? So, yeah, that's the plan. I figure it can't be too hard, except front end stuff just scares the hell out of me. Okay, strong understanding. The TypeScript is not a complete, reader who completes the walkthrough should be able to read and understand commonly used TypeScript syntax and patterns, explain effects of important compiler options, correctly predict type system behavior in most cases. All right, reference files. The reference section below in the handbook in the navigation is built to provide a richer understanding of how it works. So it'd be this stuff. What is it not? Okay, core JavaScript basics like we don't, okay, functions, classes, and closures. Well, that's too bad. I don't really know. I mean, I don't really know the ways you define functions, class, but how hard can it be? It's not a language specification. How it works with other tools. Get started. Before getting started with the basics, we recommend reading one of the following introductory pages. No, let's just skip it. All right, basics. Welcome to the first page of the handbook. If this is your first experience with TypeScript, you may want to start at, on this page, static type checking, no exception, failures, types for, oh, have you ever worked with Java or C Sharp? Yep, a long time ago, but I know both of them. Types for tooling, TSC, the TypeScript compiler. Okay, good. We know the name of the compiler now. It's TSC. Emitting with errors, explicit types, erased types, down leveling, strictness, no implicit any, strict null checks. Okay. Uh-oh, look, it doesn't quite fit. Why is this not fitting? How do I hide this part? This is really frustrating. Maybe we'll just do this. All right. Each and every value in JavaScript. Oh God, I hope I get to type code. Like, where do I even type code to do JavaScript? Are they going to tell me where to type code? Guys, do you know where I can type code for JavaScript? Maybe they'll tell us late. Let me see here. Holy shit, they don't tell us. Like, where do I get TSC? Usually there's like an install. Is TypeScript built into the browser? Already, I'm getting pissed off. Like, I'm getting pissed off by this thing because they don't even tell you like how to get started. This is bad already. You can open the TypeScript playground. Okay, so I will look for that. Each and every value in JavaScript has a set of behaviors you can observe from running different operations. That sounds abstract, but a quick example, consider some operations we might run on a variable named message. Message to lowercase, message. All right, so let's do this somewhere. Let's look for TypeScript. What's it called? Playground. All right, sweet. I don't know what all this is. Oh, I guess we can just try running it. There we go. Perfect. All right, message equals hello world. Const message equals hello world. Okay. Executed. There we go. Oh, what was the thing that how did they print it? I should have kept the thing, huh? Log.console. Okay. Come on. You can do it. Can I just delete this now? Const message equals hello world. And then we do log.console message. Alright, that's what it was. Oh my god, I'm just being an idiot here. Console.log. Maybe I should keep some of this code. Message equals hello. We're off to a terrible start. It looks like you need semicolons in this language. Alright, let's try running this. There we go, hello world. Okay, so we have an execution environment. Thank you, Ryan. Sorry about that. Must be frustrating to see. Alright, so we have this. Let's see. Message to lowercase. To lowercase. And we can probably do console.log on this too, right? There we go. Uppercase, lowercase. Perfect. Calling the message. A variable named message. If the variable is a function. But this one probably isn't. If we break this down, the first runnable line of code accesses a property called toLowercase and then calls it. The second one tries to call message directly. But assuming we don't know the value of message, and that's pretty common, we can't reliably say what results we'll get from trying to run any of this code. The behavior of each operation depends entirely on what value we have in the first place. Is message callable? Yeah, all of these questions sounds good. Let's say that it was defined like this. As you can probably guess, if we try to run to lowercase, we'll get the same string only in lowercase. What about that second line of code? If you're familiar with JavaScript, you'll know that it fails with a message is not a function. Yeah, it doesn't look like a function. But I'm guessing like I can do like, can I do const new message? Will this work? Yeah, that works. Okay, so const works this way. You can call a function in const, so it's not static. Um, it'd be great if we could avoid mistakes like this. When we run our code, the way that our JavaScript runtime chooses what to do is by figuring out the type of the value, what sorts of behaviors and capabilities it has. That's part of what the type error is alluding to. Will we get a type error if I try to call it? Like, I'll get a type error here. So it knows here's the error in the code. So I assume it's basically compiling it as I'm changing it. Oh my god, I got like my nose is all stuffy. Sorry about that. String has no call signatures. For some types such as primitive strings and numbers, we can identify their type at runtime using type of operator. But for other things like functions, there's no corresponding runtime mechanism to identify their types. Consider this function, x.flip. Okay, so how do you declare a function? Function and then function name, right? So you do function, my function, pass in x. Does this language have braces? Yes. And then you have to call return. So here we say x is declared, but its value is never read. X implicitly has any type. We can observe by reading the code that this function will only work if given an object with a callable flip property. But JavaScript doesn't surface this information in a way that we can check while the code is running. The only way in pure JavaScript to tell what a function does with a particular value is to call it and see what happens. This kind of behavior makes it hard to predict what the code will do before it runs, which means it's harder to know what your code is going to do while you're writing it. Seen in this way, a type is the concept of describing which values can be passed in and which will crash. JavaScript only truly provides dynamic typing, running the code and see what happens. So this just saying like let's do type checking. Think back to that type error we got earlier from the string function. Most people don't like to get any sorts of errors when running their code. Those are considered bugs. Yeah, right. Okay, so what are they trying to show here? Yeah, I think we did this. Non-exception failures. So far we've been discussing certain things like runtime errors, cases where the JavaScript runtime tells us that it thinks something is nonsensical because and it knows that because the ECMAScript specification has explicit instructions on how the language should behave when it runs into something unexpected. For example, let's see what's going on here. User Daniel age name. That oh my god. Name Daniel age 26 user dot location. So it's trying to access a property that doesn't exist, right? So what was that? Like const user equals, and we're basically giving it was that a map? Yeah, it looks like a map of some sort. So we're giving, and then what? Does this have commas, you think, or semicolons? I'm guessing no, I'm guessing commas. Let's see. Yeah, commas. Age 26. Alright. Oh, you need a semicolon here too. is slash slash errors. Okay, no errors. So when I run this thing, it'll do nothing, and then we'll try to get location. And this gives us an error here because location doesn't exist. But also if we try to run it, it says undefined because I guess this is what happens when you try to access a property that doesn't exist. You get undefined. Sorry, I'm just checking something real quick here. All right. So, ultimately, a static type system has to make the call over what code should be flagged as an error in its system. Even if it's valid JavaScript, that won't immediately throw an error. In TypeScript, the following code produces an error at location not being defined. That's what we saw, right? We saw that over here in errors. Well, sometimes they're just trying to tell us that, like, uh, this is a good thing. I'm 100%, I like static typing, so you don't have to sell me on this. Types for tooling. TypeScript can catch bugs when we make mistakes in our code. That's great, but TypeScript can also prevent us from making those mistakes in the first place. All right. Code completion. Sure, that's what most IDEs do. All right. Hey, we're going to install TypeScript. Let's go. Let's make sure that we got the right name for TypeScript. TypeScript on Nix. It's called TypeScript, just what you'd expect. So I will add back what do I do? Maybe I'll put the code thing here, like over here. And I'll make the browser a little bit smaller. Yeah, I'll make this a little smaller too. Okay. So we'll go into projects. We'll make a directory for TypeScript, I guess. And we'll do a Nix shell minus p TypeScript. This will go get and install TypeScript for us, hopefully. And what did they say? They said that it should give us. Oh crap! What did I just click? What did I just click? TSC. Okay. Version 563. Alright, and I guess we'll make a file. Is that what it's saying? This installs the TypeScript compiler globally. Let's move on to an empty folder and write hello.ts. Okay. Greets. Greets the world. Is this too small for you guys? Like, is the code too small? Should I make the font bigger? I forget the hotkey for that. control minus and equals. All right, control log. Hello world. All right. I don't know if I have language server for TypeScript installed. What's it called? TypeScript? No. Let's get one. It's just called that. Okay. Oh, my helix is gone now. There we go. There we go. It does notice now. That's good. TSC hello.ts. Split. Let's split this screen. Control Shift Alt. I think I want horizontal. Damn it. That's not what I want. Oh god, this is totally not what I want. Here, let's start this over. Sorry. I am not very good at helix yet. And this looks too small, doesn't it? Too big, I mean. Jesus. Maybe it's fine. Control Shift 2. There we go. We needed, what was it called? TypeScript. And we needed TypeScript language server. Sorry, I'm streaming. Everything okay? What'd I do? Okay. All right, here we go. tsc hello.ts. It runs. Ta-da. Wait, ta-da. Exactly what we ran. TS. and nothing happened. Well, there were no type errors, so we didn't get any output in our console since there was nothing to report. But check again, we got some file output instead. If we look in our current directory, we'll see a hello.js next to the file hello. Oh yeah, look at that. That's the output from our hello.ts file after TSC compiles or transforms it into a plain JavaScript file. Oh, so it's not like really compiling, it just makes JavaScript out of it. And if we check the contents, we'll see what the TypeScript spits out after it processes. Yeah, it's the same file, right? Yeah. In this case, there was very little for TypeScript to transform, so it looks identical to what we wrote. The compiler tries to emit clean, readable code that looks like something a person would write. While that's not always so easy, TypeScript indents consistently, is mindful of when our code spans across different lines of code, and tries to keep comments around. But what if we did introduce a type checking error? Let's rewrite this. So let me just look at this function. We're going to greet, you pass in a person and a date. All right, so let me try to write this. Function, you do function plus the function name, right? So we do greet, and we gave it the person and the date, right? Then I assume we do this, and it was console.log, and now we put a string in here. We say hello, and we can like, what was the thing to interpolate? I saw braces, I think. So maybe it was like this. Maybe it has something in front. I don't know. Person. Today is, and then we pass another interpolated string, date. And then we have that. Oh, I should make this a little smaller because it's getting too big. Decrease font, control minus. Control minus. That looks a little better. All right, let me look at the code. Okay, it's $ and not the hash. Anything else? Oh, we have to put backticks to make it interpolate, it looks like. Is that that? Otherwise, it looks good. And now we call the function greet, and we pass in the person. The person is Brendan. Transpiling. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So let's try running this again. tsc hello.ts. And now it says unexpected 2 arguments but got 1. Greet Brandon. Date. An argument for date was not provided. Are we going to fix this? What if I just pass in another string that's a date? It'll be upset, right? Because it's... Oh, maybe it'll be fine. Today's date is January 30th. Let's see if this compiles now. Oh, it does compile. Let's look at the code. Look at that. It turns this into concat. So I guess this is like a JavaScript thing, the TypeScript thing where you can do the backtick and do string interpolation. So that's pretty cool. They made it a nicer language. Emitting with errors. One thing you might not have noticed from the last example was that our hello.js file has changed. No, I noticed it. If we open that file up, then we'll see some of the contents still basically look the same as our input file. That might be a little surprising given the fact that TSC reported an error about our code. Yeah, so like, I want to see what it looks like when there's an error. Okay. Oh, I'm changing the JavaScript code. Alright, so this one failed. So let's go back to this now. Reload. And what happened? Well, it just tried its best, I guess. It just put our error in here. That might be a surprising thing because it had an error, but this is based on one of TypeScript's core values. Much of the time, you will know better than TypeScript. Oh, so it's basically saying I'm going to try my best because maybe you know what you're trying to do. That's pretty crazy to me. To reiterate from earlier, type checking code limits the sorts of programs you can run. And so there's a trade-off on what sorts of things a type checker finds acceptable. Most of the time that's okay, but there are scenarios where those checks get in the way. For example, imagine yourself migrating JavaScript code over to TypeScript and introducing type checking errors. Eventually you'll get around to cleaning things up for the type checker, but that original JavaScript code was already working. Oh, so really TypeScript's not like a language. It's just sort of like syntax stuff you add to your JavaScript that's like helps you see if you have bugs. This is like in Elixir, you have like type specifications and then you run dialyzer and it kind of tells you, but it's not really a language, you know? Hello Saturo, good to hear from you. Of course, over time, you may want to be a bit more defensive against mistakes and make TypeScript act more strictly. In that case, you can use the no emit on error compiler option. I see. So this will, like if I remove hello.js and then I do tsc no emit on error, one error, and now if I look, I don't get a file. Okay, that's good. Explicit types. Up until now, we haven't told TypeScript what a person or date are. Let's edit the code. Alright, so here we go. So a person is a string, and a date is some type called date. There must be a list of all types, right? Date dot to date string. Okay, so we have that now. Now if I pass in like another number here, like January 30th, this should fail because it's not the right type. Let's see. Argument of type string is not assignable to parameter of type date. Okay, so that told me. Let's also see over here what it says. And it says the same exact error, so that's good. Makes a lot of sense. So how do you make a date string? It's called date.
Ah oui, ça on a vu ça hier parce que
there
ça
we
s'appelle
go.
la vie, hein.
Uh-oh.
C'est normal, c'est parce que tu me vois, mais
It's
si
not
tu vas dehors et
happy.
tu t'éloignes de la maison, bah tu verras la maison et tu verras où je suis.
Why is it
Mais
not
ça, on l'a
happy?
vu
What
hier.
am I doing wrong? Oh, it's still because it's supposed to be wrong, right?
Non, j'ai fait échappe, paramètres, contrôle, dans touche, et j'ai regardé ce que je pouvais faire.
TypeScript reported an error on our second argument,
Et
but
dans
why? That's
ces,
exactly
ces,
what I
ces
was
petits
asking,
trucs-là, il y
right?
a ruée, left shift,
Perhaps surprisingly,
tu
calling
as
date in JavaScript
l'autorisateur,
returns a string.
tu as attaqué et bloqué,
On the other hand,
tu as
constructing
la
a date
chose,
with new date
enfin,
actually
et tu
gives
as
us
appelé
what
pour
we
parler,
are
dire
expecting.
bonjour,
Why is that? Why? What's the
et
difference between
tu
calling
vois pas bien,
date and new
regarde.
date? This I don't understand enough JavaScript to know.
C'est chaud. Voilà, voilà, voilà.
So now we should see this guy. Yeah, and this looks correct. Okay, perfect. Keep in mind, we don't always have to write explicit type notations. In many cases, TypeScript can even just infer or figure out the types for us, even if we omit them. Yeah, I figured that part out. So I guess let is how you declare variables. Let today is equal to date dot to. Oh, why doesn't it complete?
Je vais mettre d'autres. Attends, je vais les mettre dans le code en fait. Bah, tu peux les regarder. Il y a 2 livraisons et des créatures.
Shouldn't that work?
Je mets ça dans le code.
Like this? Oh, because I'm in the JavaScript. This is the second time I'm kind of coding in the wrong place. Okay, so what was I doing? This is where my brain is slower today. Right, I was testing out let. Let today is equal to date dot to date string. And then I should be able to just put in this, right, today. Alright, cool. So I do understand what's going on. Even though we didn't tell, yeah, we got that erase type. Let's see what this means. Let's take a look at what happens when we compile the above function greet with TSC to output JavaScript. Use strict. What's that? What's going on?
Il y a un truc qui fait un bruit bizarre. Ah, bah attends. On va aller taper. Non, ça c'est une araignée. Ah!
They're just saying like, this is what our JavaScript should look like when we compile it. Here, let's compile it again. And then when I look up JavaScript, I don't see use strict. I don't see that. Even though I did. I wonder where it says strict. I don't think it's there. No emit on error. Anyway, so let's see. Notice our person and data parameters no longer have type annotations, right? Here, there's no type annotation. Our template string backtick was converted to plain strings with concatenations. Yeah, I noticed that earlier. Let's focus on the type annotations aren't part of JavaScript, so there really aren't any browsers or other runtimes that can just run TypeScript unmodified. That's why TypeScript needs a compiler in the first place. It needs some way to strip out or transform any TypeScript specific code so that you can run it. Most TypeScript specific code gets erased anyway. Ah, so basically it's saying that like, yeah, there's no such thing as all that type information gets lost in the actual code. So it's just annotation that helps you know if your code looks right, but otherwise once you run it, it has no idea. That's really too bad.
Enfin, quoi que si, c'était 94, un truc comme ça.
Are we eating dinner?
I guess so. You don't want dinner?
I'm just wondering if we're eating dinner together.
Oh, up to you. Ouais.
Let's see. The other difference from the above was that our template string was rewritten. Yeah, I saw that. Why did this happen? Template strings are a feature from a version of ECMAScript called ECMAScript 2015. TypeScript has the ability to rewrite code from newer versions of ECMAScript to older ones, such as ECMAScript 3 or 5. So this is down leveling. So it's taking like
Y a des
features
flèches
so
partout
it'll
dans un
work
arbre
on
avec
more
des dessins.
browsers, I guess. This is my nose is killing me. By default, targets ECMAScript 5, an extremely old version of ECMAScript. We could have chosen something a little bit more recent by using the target option. I think I should save this so that I remember it later. Let's bring this up in gist. And I will make a new gist. It's called My TypeScript Journey. Okay. So you can look up my account on GitHub. It's in my bio links. And then you'll find it. Just find the gist. What I wanted to do was I wanted to remember like compiler options.
C'est mort de chez mort. Livraison de nourriture, maïs vapeur. Bah, j'ai trouvé les
No
vapeurs, mais j'ai pas de maïs vapeur.
emit on error.
Dommage.
Won't create JavaScript file if there is an error. And then the other one was target.
Je sais pas de quoi tu parles.
2015 is the one, is ECMAScript 6.
Je sais pas. Je comprends pas. Toujours.
aka ECMAScript 6. Newer version that has string interpolation.
Putain, il y a une meuf chelou. DHL, Chronopost.
Okay, cool.
Est-ce que vous voyez mon écran? Vous avez vu la meuf là?
Let's try this.
Tu lui as parlé?
Target ECMAScript 2015. Now we reload this. And now, there we go. Our string looks a lot better. We learned something. Yay. While the target is ES5, the great majority of current browsers support ECMAScript 2015. Most developers can therefore safely specify ES 2015 or above as a target unless compatibility with certain ancient browsers is important. Strictness. Different users come to TypeScript looking for different things in a type checker. God, guys, so like TypeScript is not that cool, is it? This is just pretty straightforward stuff. Okay. Oh, this is good. Maybe it fixes the null problem. It would be so cool if like there were always null checks or something like that, or like if you could make something immutable. But let's see. Some people are looking for more loose opt-in experience which can help validate only parts of their program and still have decent tooling. This is the default experience with TypeScript. So this is why like so much of this is like configuration, like what parameters you pass to the compiler
Oui, je sais.
because it's just how you want it to help you verify your program, right? So it's not like,
Bah,
oh, you're programming in TypeScript, you know? It's like, well, yeah, but it all depends on like what options are turned on and off, right? Okay, this is becoming a lot more grounded and real to me.
merde, je suis partie.
The default experience, TypeScript is the bane of your existence. Tell me more, Tomato. Why
Non,
is it
ici,
the
non, j'ai
bane?
vu ça,
Like,
ici.
you know,
Voilà.
if I had my choice, if I wasn't learning this for a company, like, I think if I had to use a language, I would probably use PureScript. This seems a lot cooler. So it compiles to JavaScript, but like, hey, this looks so much better.
Nettoyer des trucs.
I'm just like a functional programming nerd, right?
Alors, il fait pas la vaisselle du coup, hein, il la met sur le truc de vaisselle. Faut pas en pâtir.
Solving Project Euler. Oh, you can do ranges? Oh my god, how cool is that? Just do a range.
Il y a plus rien ici.
You have these functions like filter. Now you have like a lambda function here. They
Ouais,
even use
on va
backslash n as sort of like a lambda variable.
Tu veux pas ça là Oui,
Oh,
oui,
this is so
oui.
cool. These are like
Petit
comprehensions.
moist.
Yeah. Well, this would be cool. You see? But yeah. I'm okay using whatever language. Like my expectation is that when you work for a company, they choose what language you're going to use and like you use it. Sometimes you get to choose which company you work for. You have to choose like, are you going to enjoy what they're trying to
Ok.
build more, or do you care more about the language you're going to use?
Il n'y a plus de maïs du coup. Faut faire de l'eau chaude. Qui a l'eau?
Okay, so there's all these things like type checking for null undefined values. In contrast, a lot of users prefer to have TypeScript validate as much as it can straight away. And that's why the language provides a strictness settings as well. It just adds to the mess that JavaScript already is, and I find myself fighting with the type checker a lot. Oh, really? That's a little bit like programming in Rust and fighting with the borrow checker or the lifetimes. But I would think that fighting with the type checker isn't too bad with TypeScript, unless maybe if you have to like use other libraries, you know, that already exist and like you're moving stuff back and forth, that probably is really annoying. Let's see. The strictness settings deters static type checking from a switch. Either your code is checked or not into something closer to a dial. That's what we're just talking about. The further you turn this dial up, the more TypeScript will check for you. This can require a little extra work. So, Tomato, they disagree with you. It's just a little bit of extra work. There's no fighting. It's just a little bit of work. But generally speaking, it pays for itself in the long run and enables more checks and accurate tooling. When possible, a new codebase should always turn the strictness checks on. It can't always tell that a field will be defined, for example. Oh, that's annoying. TypeScript has several type checking strictness flags that can be turned on or off, and all of our examples will be written with all of them enabled unless otherwise stated. The strict flag in the CLI or strict true in tsconfig.json turns them all on simultaneously. Okay, so there's a strict flag. I could do like strict. Alright, so let's put that in here. Okay, so we have the strict flag. Then we have the no implicit any flag. And then we have strict null checks. Recall that in some
Voir.
places, TypeScript doesn't infer types for us and instead falls back to the most lenient type, any. This isn't the worst thing that could happen after all. Falling back to any is just a plain JavaScript experience anyway.
Hop, moi.
However, using any often defeats the
Alors,
purpose of
attends,
using
je suis
TypeScript in the
là.
first place. The more typed your program is, the more validation and tooling you'll get, meaning you'll run into fewer bugs as you code. Turning on no implicit any flag will issue an error on any variables whose type is implicitly inferred as any. Recall that in some places. Where did it tell us that?
Je vais
Anyway,
voir.
so here we just write
On a
down
qu'un seul son.
will not
On
infer
a qu'un seul son.
type as any.
Dans la vaisselle, dans.
And strict null check is probably just like that. Values like null and undefined are assignable to any other type. This could make writing some code easier, but forgetting to handle null and undefined is the cause of countless bugs in the world. Consider it a $1 billion mistake. Yeah, we heard of that before. The strict null checks flag makes handling null and undefined more explicit and spares us from worrying whether we forgot to handle null and undefined. Just what it sounds like. Alright. There we go. Everyday types. Chérie, est-ce qu'on va commander? Ou
Non, on n'a rien commandé.
should we order something?
Ok.
Do you want me to order?
Yay.
But what do you want to get?
Yay.
What do you want?
Yay.
You want me to choose?
Yay. C'est prêt? Ok.
Alright, so what should I eat? What's your favorite foods?
Mais j'ai toujours pas le balai, je l'ai mis dans le coffre, je pense.
There's this game called, what's it called? Tavern and Ales?
Tail and nail.
Tail and Ale? That's what
Ou L and tail, I don't
we
know.
were playing. It's really fun. It's on Steam. I think it's like on sale right now for like in US $9 or something.
Je dois faire quoi?
Oh, I know what I want. I want like a veggie burger. What's the place called?
Hi, hi.
Hi hi!
Oui, je vais mettre le overlay.
What was that burger place that I... Oh, it's meat packing. But it's called meat packing, but they have a really good veggie burger. Okay. Are you okay ordering from here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to choose?
Same as last time?
What did you get last
I
time?
don't remember actually. Cuisiner.
Oh, I'm like gonna sneeze. Sorry, it's just gonna take me a second to order this. Oh,
Je rajoute la chope de bière qui donne l'XP.
I'm a mess, right, guys? I'm so sorry.
Une chope de bière. Du coup, je sais plus c'est lequel qu'on a. On a une chope de bière. Ici, une chope. En voici. En voilà. Et hop, voilà ta chope de bière. Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
Alright, it's ordered.
What the fuck? J'avais même pas vu que t'étais cool. Merci.
Alright, so we finished basics. We know the basics now. Let's go to everyday types.
Attendez.
We got arrays, we got some stuff, we got functions, la 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 la. Let's go take a look. In this chapter, we'll cover some of the most common types of values you'll find in JavaScript code and explain the corresponding ways to describe those types in JavaScript. This isn't an exhaustive list, and future chapters will describe more ways to name and use other types. Type can also appear in many more places than just type annotations as we learn about the types themselves. Alright, so we got string, number, and boolean. Should I like put this all in the gist, you think? Or we'll see. We'll see if it's like really annoying. So string, int, and was it boolean? String number. So that means like here I can say greet and pass in a number, right? A number would be number. Oh, does the thing actually like finish the type? Yeah, number, keyword, string, keyword, boolean, keyword. Okay, so no number, and now it says this is bad because did you mean date? Yeah, it doesn't know what this is. So I can pin this to number. It'll be like, hey, I don't have that function. So we'll just get rid of this and we say your number in line is, and we change this to number, num, right? And now this should fail. Duplicate function implementation. Why does it say that? That's weird, right? Let's see what this says. Yeah, so that's a different error. Argument of type date is not assignable to a parameter of number. That makes a lot more sense. So then we have to change here and we have to tell them what number they are. And now when I run this, this should work. Oh, why is this still so sad? I don't know what happened there. Boolean is true or false.
Vous m'entendez si je fais ça?
True or false.
Je crois que Fiori il a désactivé, mais Rio, toi, je sais pas.
There we go. JavaScript does not have a special runtime value for integers. So there's no int or float, they're just numbers. What kind of language are we dealing with here, guys? What is this? There's only numbers. How do you do like bit flags and stuff like that? How big are numbers? How many bytes are they? Arrays. So they're called arrays? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. You could also use the syntax number. This syntax works for any type. String is an array. You may also write as array number. Okay.
Alors, il me semblait avoir récupéré du houblon, parce que j'ai planté plein de houblon, et je sais pas où il est.
So, we have two ways of doing, we have a few ways of doing arrays. We have like string like this, right? Was that right? String.
Ouais, enfin.
And we have array string.
Il y a un zombie à la taverne.
Is that right? String. Add array. Yeah, array string. Okay. think
Mais
that's right.
j'ai plus de
Let's make
hache.
sure that we could do that too.
J'ai plus de
So
hache.
here we could say
Ok, j'ai pas
array
comment
of
compter les fleurs.
numbers.
Hop, hop.
And then when we run this,
Phew. Faut pas aller au marchand.
it says is not assignable to number, right? So then we have to pass it an array here. Let's try this again. And that compiles. Is there a way for... Oh, hey, Blocks Hub Roblox. Long time no see.
Ah,
I've
mais
been sick.
il y avait un truc
So,
près
like,
de...
it's been pretty
Il a dit qu'il y
bad.
avait.
I got sick with uh,
Parce qu'il me semble qu'il y en avait
food
une présidente.
poisoning and then I got a cold. It's just been terrible. One thing after the other. So, and now I'm trying to do TypeScript because
Service.
I think I'll be working with it for a
Ouais.
job. So I should know the language.
Ouais.
But the more I'm learning, it's just JavaScript. It's just like extra annotation around JavaScript. So it's not that hard. Any. There's something called any. So we'll write that down too. But how have you been, Blocks?
Par contre, j'ai pas compris.
You could use whenever you don't want a particular value to cause type checking errors. This is just like I know I'm using TypeScript, but I don't want to. So whatever. No implicit any. When you don't specify a type, TypeScript can't infer it from, and it can't infer it from context. The compiler will typically default to any. You usually want to avoid this, so use no implicit any. We already did that already. Let's see. Food should arrive 30, 40, 50, 20 minutes. So I'll set a little timer for 20 minutes. Type notation on variables. When you declare a variable, you can add type notation. We've already seen this. This is just like variables. It's like every language has something like this, right? So, tries to infer stuff. Okay, yeah, so you don't need to do it. You don't need to explicitly learn the rules of inference. If you're starting out, try using fewer type notations and you'll see what happens. Functions. Yeah, we've seen function. We didn't see how to do return types on functions though, right? So we should see about that. When you declare a function, you can add type annotations after each parameter. Declare what types of parameters the function accepts. Parameter type annotations go after the parameter name. So let's make a function called double. I should get used to writing this function double x. X times 2. This is better. This is a lot better on the browser, isn't it? Because at least I can run it, right?
Tu vois, je peux pas le rotate, je peux rien faire. Il est pas là. Bon, je vous le mets dans le code si vous y arrivez mieux que moi, vous me dites.
So we do function double. We pass in x. And we turn x times 2. And we call double 3. Let result equals double 3 console.log result. Okay, x implicitly has any type. So because it can't figure out x here, although shouldn't it? Because we're doing x times 2. Maybe in JavaScript you could like use times with strings and stuff. Who knows? So let's see. When we run it, whoa. How come
Je
it
vais
doesn't
tester
run
avec
it?
bientôt.
Is it because it's like too strict? Okay, so let's say that this is a number then. Now we're happy, so let's run it. How do I clear these logs?
Attends, il faut quoi? Mets de l'eau partout.
I don't know where this is showing up. New result undefined. Why is result undefined?
D'ailleurs,
Is that weird?
Stable.
Oh, because in JavaScript you need a return? Don't tell me that's true. Holy shit, it is true. Okay, that makes more sense. Why? I'm gonna forget that, so I'm gonna put that up here. General reminders. JavaScript needs return. Okay. So what was I playing with? I forget what we were learning here.
Il faut un autre hibou.
Yeah, I guess I just was testing like I knew how to pass a function, right?
Une chope de bière
Set a type. All right, so that worked. When you declare, you add it afterwards. Yes. When a parameter has type annotation, arguments to that function will be checked. Right.
Okay.
So that's just here where we're doing the check. Here, double 3. And I would say it's not a number. Yeah. You could also add return types so it shows up afterwards. So you put it here. I say number. And I turn this to 3 and everyone's happy. I could run it and it says 6. Oh, this is supposed to be clear. There we go. Okay. And I could change this to result. There we go. Beautiful. And if I change this to something else, like string or boolean, we haven't used boolean yet, then it says the return type is wrong. Okay. Usually don't need return type annotations. You see, like I think like when I write Elixir code, I put all the type specs there. I feel like type specs is a form of documentation. If someone's looking at your code and they just see it, it just helps them. We're not compilers, right? So like if you say this is a function that takes this and returns that, it just helps me wrap my head around what's going on, right? So there's that. If you want to annotate returning promises, you should use the promise type. Okay, so promises look like this. Something like that. Whoa, where's promises? Where did I go? Here we go. If you want to annotate return type promise, do this. Return promise. Okay. That's async functions. I don't know, or I think I forgot that. So let's. Is TypeScript a thing? I guess so. Oops, I have too many quotes in here. What happened? async function get favorite. There we go. Hey Kid Go, how are you? I'm so sorry I haven't been good at reading chat. Thank you, Achoto. Achoito. I've been sick, Kid Go. That's why I sound like this, and that's why I haven't been streaming. I had food poisoning, and then I have a cold. I was away doing a talk. I think I just like killed myself. But hopefully I get better soon. Cool, we're doing anonymous functions. We're getting better. Hey, Saturo, how are you? And like when I'm sick, I can't sleep, so it's like it just gets worse and worse. You know, like other people just like pass out, they hibernate, they wake up, and they're better. It's like me, I'm just like this all night, like I can't sleep. Oh, you have the flu? That's terrible. That's worse than me because like I don't have like body aches or anything, you know? But I have to tell you, like, food poisoning is no fun at all. I'm gonna get better. Oh, you're better now. Cool. I'll get better. Hey, if I ever stream playing a game, would you guys watch, or you only want programming stuff? Okay, anonymous functions are a little bit different from function declarations. When a function appears in a place where TypeScript can determine how it's going to be called, the parameters of that function are automatically given types. Here's an example. What are you playing? I'm playing like Tails and Ales, the tavern co-op game. It's so fun.
On est dans une taverne ici, hein, t'as cru quoi?
That's what my girlfriend's playing right now. Okay, what's this doing here? We got a for each, so we're calling for each on names. Oh, that's interesting. I don't like this syntax so much. I would have preferred like enum.forEach, you know, just because I'm used to Elixir, but whatever. So for each gets passed in a function, and that function will be called on each of them. So let's see if we can write this. It's called Tales of Ales. Oh no, that's not the game. Tails and Nails? Ale and Tail Tavern.
Moi j'en ai mis deux. T. Comme tortue.
This game. It's kind of like. It kind of feels like playing a sort of like Diner Dash with Overcooked and Valheim put all together. There's like monsters that come and like attack your, and you gotta go out and do quests. So, and you build stuff. So there's like a Valheim aspect of it. But at the same time, there's a lot of like people come to your tavern, you gotta feed them and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's very like chill vibes sort of game. It's co-op to 4 people. All right, so let's write this function here. We have like something called names. I'm trying not to look, and it's an array of names, right? So it's like Bob, Amy, and
On va être just, je pense, bientôt.
Sandy. All right. So, oh, I could probably need to add something, right? Const. I think I can do this. And we can put our array of string,
Il y a un marteau dans le coffre, on sait jamais,
right?
il y a besoin.
And now we call,
Ah,
no,
bah
I think,
copie.
I remember it was names dot for each. Oh, I see,
Copie.
it's, and then we pass it a function, so we have to define a function. So you define a function just by typing function. Do we have to give it the name? No,
Bah, tu
because
fais
it's an
surtout, après tu
anonymous
bouges
function.
autour de toi et tu vas voir la même.
And probably we have to give it like
Ça marche pas?
this, maybe S? I don't know. And then what? Is it this? No, that's probably not it. It's probably something like this. No, it doesn't look happy with that.
J'ai pris un gris pour les prises de voix.
No?
Oui.
Maybe it's just this. It's probably something like this, right? Function S. Function takes in a parameter
Oui, il est pourri.
name.
Il est en pause.
And what is it going to do? It's going to return something like, maybe it just returns.
On a une nouvelle. Ah. Oh là là. Chérie, ça bug.
Name the third. Okay. Something like this. I don't think this will work. Names for each da 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 da. Alright, let's see how they actually did it. Names for each function. Okay, it looks like the function takes in the parameter in a thing here. Oh, they did two uppercase. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? We'll make this format a little bit better here. And mine is just returning name the third. There we go, right? But returning is bad. You can't return because this is a for each. This isn't like a map. Alright, so you can go console.log. We'll do this. Alright, let's see if this works. Oh, I can't run anything from here. So let me try. I should have did all this work in here. Okay. There's no errors. No errors. Try running it. Bob the third, Amy the third, Sandy the third. Huzzah! We worked. We figured it out. C likes are very insistent on parens. I know, right? That's why I was like, I didn't want to pass a paren, and I didn't want to use this like brace, but whatever. We're stuck with it, and this is so ugly with names.forEach, but whatever, we got it. Okay, so is there a map function? Oh, cool, there is a map function. So that means I can do let fancy names equals names.map, right? And then I can do just return this value. And then we can do console.log fancy name, assuming it knows how to print an array. So, and if we want to just get good at our type, this is also an array of strings. All right, cool. Here we go. There we got a map, and it's Bob the third, Amy the third, and Sandy the third. Cool. We figured out how that works. So look at this. This is another way to do lambda functions. So maybe I should just let's try doing that too.
Mais non, mais là, c'est moi qui ai fait
we'll do lower. We'll do
le truc.
capitals this time. So we do
Eh ben, j'ai fait ça hier, figure-toi.
names dot map. I
J'ai
much
fait ça hier, j'ai
prefer
appuyé
mapping.
sur l'entreprise.
And I think it
J'ai
was
mis pour
like
qui c'était, j'ai mis
string
pour qui c'était.
turns
Le
into. Was
PC,
that the operator they used?
le disque qui s'éteint. Et c'est elle qui hostait la partie. Et tout s'est éteint.
That wasn't funny.
Yeah, fine.
So here we go. I wonder if I still have to type return. It would be cool if I didn't have to, right? No, so here we're just going to do string dot to lower case.
J'ai le four. Je suis désolée.
Then we're going to have, we're going to call this one let lowers equal this. And we'll do console.log lowers. Alright, let's see if this works. Oh, we want upper. We're already lower. There we go. That worked. So this is another way to do lambda functions. I much prefer this. Oh, look at this. They had it in a parens, but notice that when I did it, I didn't put it in parens, and it worked fine. Let's see. Yeah, that worked fine. But oh, doesn't this look so much better? This almost looks like a real language, doesn't it? We didn't need a return. Oh yeah, this looks sweet. I can deal with this function. I can deal with this. So I'm going to put this just to show how lambda functions are done. I'll put this in my gist. My food is on the way. But they're going to be another 15 minutes at least. Okay, so let's add lambda function somewhere.
Hop, il en est 3 en rab. Hop, voilà. Je mets quoi, y a quoi sur le truc?
Are they lambda functions?
Orange, ouais. Elle est ouverte. Non. Non, on n'a pas la tête. Je confirme. Ouais, mais on n'a pas assez de cuisses de grenouilles, donc Rio, si tu peux tuer des grenouilles, ce serait parfait.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're closures. I'm not sure. I don't really care. Alright. La la la. Contextual typing, because the context of the function occurred within informs what type it should be. Yeah. So here I can't tell it what it is, right? Like if I say this is a number, parameter number implicitly has any type. I see. So this is always, you can't tell it what it is.
Non, c'est le truc que je te montrais tout à l'heure, enfin dont je te parlais plutôt. Alors,
yeah, interesting. So with these anonymous functions, you can't tell it what it is. But that makes sense because they're just being passed into stuff right. Like here, it's based on names, right? So it's pretty obvious what's actually going on, and you know what names are. It's an array of strings. Object types. Apart from primitives, the most common sort of type you'll encounter is an object type. This refers to any JavaScript value with properties. Oh, so this is like a map, or is it really an object? Which is almost all of them. To define an object type, we simply list its properties and their types. For example, here's a function that takes a point-like object.
Ok, donc j'ai refait la bière normale.
Oh, I see. So here, this is how you define, this is the object type. So we'll put that here too. Object. Oh, you don't need a semicolon in the last one here. Okay. All right. This is wrong. What the hell? I don't know why it kind of doesn't show up, so we'll put it in a code block here. There we go, promise string. Okay. That sounds good. Here we annotated the parameter with a type of two properties x and y, which are both of the type number. You can use comma or semicolon to separate the properties. The last separator is optional either way. The type of each property is also optional. If you don't specify a type, it will be assumed to be any, which won't work if you use strict, right? Or what's it called?
Et je me suis racheté une hache parce que la mienne elle est en train de péter. Et j'ai acheté
no implicit any, I'm guessing.
T'es où? J'arrive.
It's kind of the Java side. Everything which is not one of the primitive types is an object. Got it. Alright. So let's try doing this real quick then, like they did. So we'll make an object type called, I guess we'll have a person, right? So here's the type. We say name is equal to a string. And we'll have age is equal to a number. Equal. And I guess I can do here, I can do name Elise. Oh, it's not my age then. We'll make Tom. Tom is 28. Okay, no errors so far. And now we're going to have a function. Print person. And it takes in a person. This is really long to type though. There must be a way to shorthand this, right? Like you must have a way to like define a type so you can use a shortcut for it. Because this is crazy. I'm not going to type this every time. Name is equal to name. Well, why does it have a hash thing in here? Why does it do that? That's weird, right? No, name is deprecated. Oh, it's like a special issue. Now it gets even longer.
ambition. C'était
First name, age, first name, age.
Mais c'est pas la vache ça?
Print person takes
C'est
in
où
a
print la
person,
vache?
which is first name, string, age,
Il
number.
parle. Il veut vraiment que je
Shouldn't
tourne.
this be how it works? Oh, no, no, I'm doing pattern matching like as if this was a functional language. This is not right.
Ok.
I gotta do like person and do this. And then I do person dot first name and person dot age. Haha, I forgot. Wouldn't, this is why, oh, it didn't like this. Because it should be called P. Alright, so now we have
Je
this
crois que la
working.
vache, elle m'offre un enclos.
Print person.
En même temps, je parle à la vache.
Alright, so now we'll do print person. I will call this person Tom. We'll pass in Tom. Maybe we need like a
Alors,
semicolon here, I don't know.
Je lui donne la moitié de ce que j'ai.
Alright, here it is. First name equals Tom, age equals 28. So this worked. And obviously if we said it needed something else like weight, this would now fail because it's saying you're passing first name and age and it can't go to weight. Yeah. Alright, perfect. We figured it out. That looks good. Did I add this to the type? Yeah, I think I did. Objects, right? Yeah, here, object.
Ok, nettoie le clos.
How are you guys doing? What's still here?
On va regarder ce qu'il y a au menu.
It's funny you guys are watching me do TypeScript like this is like more than usual and like I feel like TypeScript's the most boring thing ever. You must all know this already, right? Maybe people like to watch stuff they already know. It's like, oh, I already know this. I actually like it when people learn Elixir. I like watching them. Makes sense. Oh, the food's almost here, so I should probably close up here. Let's see, where are we? Optional properties, union types. So there's quite a bit to do here. This is good. I feel like, so you have to stop thinking, like I used to think that TypeScript was a language, but no, it's really just like annotation on JavaScript that helps you make sure your code's right because it does static type checking. Maybe there's a lot more stuff with TypeScript where... No, they're close. You can go down and get it? No, I'll go get it. Maybe there's stuff with TypeScript where it has much more like language stuff. Like,
Oh my god.
I don't know, maybe there's just like cool stuff it can do that's not like whatever. That'll be cool. Creating types from types, generic. So maybe this is all good stuff. So I'm going to end it here so that like I can eat. But thank you for hanging out with me. It's been an hour and 45 minutes almost. So that's decent time. And yeah, I want to stream more of my Atari 6502 assembly language programming. I got to get back to Nix again. Just a whole lot of stuff. But hopefully I'll feel better and have more energy and do better streams. Thanks everyone. Please do like, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. And I will talk to you later. This will be a VOD on YouTube and also on PeerTube later. Alright, see you guys. Bye.
Ah, tu peux mettre de